for us to sit there. And there wasn't any room. I mean, they're going in and out of the doors. So one of the waitresses took us upstairs because there was a big ballroom up there, and she brought us breakfast up there, and that's where we ate, you know. So again, I've got two sides of my life where we lived on Taiwan for 2 years. We were in the southern tip of the island, the only African American family in the southern tip of the island. But I mean, it was great. We had these great 2 years. But then we came back to the States. And it was typically a struggle, you know. And we were at Fort Lee for 2 of my high school years. And all of the kids would get to the bus stop at the same time. But then the white kids would go to Prince George, and the African American kids went to Petersburg.
You were at the same bus stop?
We're at the same bus stop.
You went to 2 different
and we
schools.
went to 2 different schools because of the segregation. So that was 61 to 63. But I have to tell you, those 2 years at Peabody High School were like 2 of the best years of my life because I had never been with that many black kids ever. On Taiwan, we were like the only ones, you know.
Yeah.
And so seeing those kids, I had a great 2 years there. And then we got orders to go back to Germany. So I ended up graduating. I started kindergarten in Frankfurt, and I graduated high school in Frankfurt. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you came back to the United States to go to
college. Yeah.
Where did you go to
I
college?
started school at Fisk University, but then I transferred and went to Virginia State because my dad got orders to go to Vietnam. And so I just stayed with my mom and met a guy and got married. And, you know, we had 2 girls, and then we divorced. Boom, boom, boom.
What did you major in at college?
I majored in sociology. And, you know, I know kids ask their moms or dads, you know, what should I major in? But my mom said to me when I was in the 9th grade, you should major in sociology because you enjoy people. And that has been the absolute truth. I love saying, too, that I was 3rd generation. I am 3rd generation college because my grandmother went to college after she sent all 4 of her kids to school. So she was 50 when she went to college. And so it was never a question of if, it was just a question of where. Yeah.
And it sounds like you've had some really good role models in your life.
Yep.
Starting with your grandmother, or maybe even
No
others
question.
of that generation.
Yeah. My granddad on my dad's side. This is why I love saying my name is Rita Caldwell Ricks, because he was just such a strong, he just was this great guy with a lot of integrity. And it was my dad and my granddad and my uncle on my dad's side and my brother. And whenever they got together, they always included me. It was never, she can't come because she's a girl. So I've always felt really comfortable around guys. I like guys because we have, you know, we can interact and have great times together. And I know that that comes from my dad always including me, and my brother, even now, you know? Yeah.
Well, I know you're a spiritual coach.
I am.
And it sounds like your childhood, your parents, your grandparents, your travels, all played a role in you getting there. I know that you're a caring person. You're a person who loves to learn, a person who reaches out to others. And just from what you've told me, it sounds like this was a natural kind of path for you.
You know, it feels like that. I didn't mention that my mom's dad was a minister and had a heart attack in the pulpit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he did. And so this whole spirit path, you're probably right. And I never really thought about it. But I do enjoy people. I love listening to people. I love watching people. And I have a master's in adult education. And so there's still I feel like all my life I've been putting puzzle pieces together. So you take a little bit here, and you take a little bit here, and it has grown me to where I am now. So yeah, I think you're right.
So did you teach then?
Girl, yes. I did. I taught middle school, you know?
Middle
So,
school.
okay, so here's the deal. At one point, I have an undergrad in sociology. I have a master's in adult education, and I'm teaching middle school kids. So that's why I say my life was more of a trip than a journey, you know, because I was all over the place. But I started teaching for what was going to be a couple of years and ended up teaching 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I really probably could have stopped after 10, but there was always one more child that I wanted to make sure, especially African American males, because I was in a county where where people from New York would send their kids back to grandma.
Uh-huh.
You know, they didn't want them to grow up in New York, so they'd send them back to grandma.